All right, we are back.
Hola.
After a long hiatus, guys, a lot of life stuff for me happened between me, Mac, and myself. I got married. Those two were pretty busy going to Milsims as well.
Yeah.
So we're back here, episode 96. Let's just get straight into it. Here we are with Kazz,
Hola.
Panther staff, and as well as what we're going to be talking about today is Kazz's Ops Stalker 2023.
My very first milsim that I am hosting. So.
Yes, I am excited because this is a topic, a video game actually, that is near and dear to my heart. I am a survival horror, like DayZ, Stalker,
Yeah.
Arma, those type of old games. I love it. And with Stalker, what is it? Stalker Anomaly.
Anomaly? Yeah.
That's the big one that just skyrocketed Stalker back into the into the limelight again.
Well, it was super old, right?
Yeah,
So.
and updated mods and everything. But anyways, we're not talking about the game. But I am really into the lore specific of the game, and you picked the right person to pick with because I literally loved that game so much. So Kazz Ops Stalker 2023. We're going to be going over factions and objectives, the special mechanics. You're going to be having some interesting gameplays here. That is going to be interesting for a lot of players, especially coming from the video game itself. It's going to be interesting. We're going to go over the game rules, a little bit of my suggestions on how I could help you here because I would love to help you with these stuff, and as well as our closing remarks. Other than that, before we start, how are you doing? You've been working with Panther for how long now?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yes,
Wow.
year and a half.
How has it been from being like player to staff and then...
It's kind of surreal because when I first came here, I was a renter. And the first person that I ever talked to, a part of the staff, was actually the manager, Braden, who is my manager now.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of weird, going from that to now being almost in the same position as him. Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, you've moved up the ranks pretty quick there.
it feels like it's been a lot longer than it actually is.
Yeah,
but,
no, a year and a half is what is that, like almost like the start of that second wave COVID.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the start of the second wave C21 as well. That was around that time.
Yep,
Yeah.
no, I remember that. I was pulling my hair with all that stuff. I almost went gray. Anyways, that's been defeated. But again, we're not here to talk about. We're here to talk about your game.
Yeah.
Stalker 2023. So it's basically a simulation based on the video game series itself. Post-apocalyptic. For those who don't know, it's a post-apocalyptic a zone near Chernobyl.
Yes.
And it is based on the 1980s, 1986 technically, when the Chernobyl disaster happened.
Yeah.
And then with again going to lore specific here, basically what ends up happening is you have a bunch of groups pile into the zone, and it becomes a big shrouded mystery of what is going on there, and that's where your sort of theme starts.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
My take on this, it's not necessarily following the games. I wanted to put my own spin on it, and I chose because there's still lots for me to learn. I only started playing the games about a few months ago, and that's where I first got the idea, like, hey, this would be really cool to do. But it's more a take on these are the most well-known factions that I've seen in the community, and also the most well-known factions that I know personally.
Yep.
And I decided to put a spin on it and make those the two clashing enemies in my own narrative timeline, I suppose.
Okay, all right. And before we get into factions here, so the zone, you're basically picking Panther as one of the zones.
Yes.
Do you have a name for that zone yet? I know it's going to be close to Chernobyl because the goal is to get to Chernobyl.
Yeah.
But this is just part of that story.
I haven't found a name for it. I haven't found a location that I would likely put it, but if there was any location that closely resembles it, with lots of hills, lots of trees, the little town, as in that would be city, with all the small buildings, I think Cordon would be.
Cordon?
Yeah, that would be probably the most likely area
I was
for
thinking
that.
the Red Forest.
Well, Red Forest that's a lot closer, right? Like that place is spooky.
Yes.
Spooky stuff.
If you play the game, it's a very difficult, especially in Anomaly. They just made it much more harder.
Yeah.
So based on the the Stalker series, what timeline are you looking at? I'm guessing it's right at par with when it begins, or is it after or before? Or?
So I'm taking it place. Again, I'm not following the game's timeline. This is taking place 13 years after.
13 years afterwards.
Yes, 13 years after not only the explosion, but the second wave that happened.
Ah, so this is almost at a 2000
Yeah,
era.
yeah,
Okay.
close to that.
All right, so there you go, guys. If you're looking for kit-specific stuff,
Wear your nice kits.
there
I
you
want to
go.
see them.
So, as far as your operation goes, what does the itinerary look like for the day? Is it well, I guess the timeline of the game is it like a 1 day or half day or what are we looking at here?
So this is more, I guess you could call it half day. It's taking place during the day, but because it's winter, it's going to be nighttime anyways,
Well,
or
this
it feels
is
like it.
literally the game start right now
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock.
Yes, that will be when we
It's
go in.
dark, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be dark. I wanted to plan this more over for summer, but it didn't really work out on that time frame, so I had to do a lot of changes, and so we came upon December, which was the best area for that. But
Also, it goes well with the theme because, like, at that
Yes.
time too, it's really dark and it's
really
really
dark,
cold. Yeah.
raining, cold. Even if it might even snow, who knows, right?
If it rains, then it's lore specific.
Lore accurate, lore accurate.
All right. So that's good. So you're looking at like from what 5 o'clock till 12. You said.
Yeah, so it's gonna be from. We're hoping to go in at 5 p.m.
Okay.
and then it'll end at around 12. I wanted to make this not relatively long or short, just kind of that golden area because, things could go wrong, people could leave,
Yeah.
or, any abundance of things could happen. And I just wanted to make sure that, especially for my first event, that I had everything in control as much as I possibly could. So
Okay.
I wanted to keep it short for this one instead of going into the, the next morning type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're used to how Panther Sims run here. Everybody sort of just
They
dies out
they fizzle out after 12.
after
That's
12.
Usually
After
when
that
they,
first break, everyone's like, "Where's
Everyone's like-
everybody?"
it's like, why am I even doing this again? Right?
All right. So yeah, lessons learned from our previous Sims, guys. But yeah, if you're gonna attend this is a great event to attend because it is a short sim. It is not mil simmy or anything
Yeah.
like that. Uh, Clearly, when we get to the factions, and I'll read through some of the faction, like lore and stuff, you'll realize that it like the game itself is very almost like a lonerish,
Yeah.
but you join groups sort
Yeah.
of deal, and you mix and meld with them. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So we got a little bit of the theme down. Let's go ahead and talk about the factions and a little bit of the objectives. And we're not giving away too much of the objectives,
Yep.
but so the two factions. Who are the two factions you're looking at here?
Faction 1 would be Clear Sky. Those are my boys. I love Clear Sky. And then Faction 2 would be Monolith. They are quite close to each other on the map for where I'm putting them, but the areas in which they will fight will be further away from the spawns. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. So on your map there, it states that Clear Sky starts at
Yes. Clear Sky is going to start
Church?
at no, sorry. Clear,
sorry,
yeah, Clear Sky is going to start at Prairie's Playhouse.
Yeah, Prairie's
that's
Playhouse down
up-
south,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Monolith is going to set up at the church.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of fitting.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. Not very subtle. Not
Yeah.
very subtle. Clear Sky is going to secure the broken helicopters, their first FOB.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to start patrols. And then Monolith is going to secure the wooden bridge right next to the plane. And then they're going to set up a defense around the river because that will be the main choke point
Yeah.
for both of the teams.
So as far as like the map is concerned, are you doing full map?
Yes, it'll be the full map. The only other thing is City, which won't be open until 6 p.m.
Okay. Okay,
Just to make
perfect.
sure, because this is happening when drop-ins are happening. So.
Yeah, good idea. All right, so just a little bit of faction lore here. Clear Sky is a faction that's dedicating to researching and understanding the nature of the zone.
Yes.
So they're basically like almost like the scientists, the researchers, but not really the other research guys.
Yeah, they're more research paramilitary.
Yeah. So they go out there and actually do the field exercises and stuff. They believe that the zone is a living organism that can be studied and understood, and that artifacts hold a key to unlocking the secrets. So this is essential, guys, because again, some of the objectives are going to consist of these artifacts for this group here.
Yeah.
All right. Clear Skies is led by a group of scientists and researchers that are trying to uncover the mysteries of the zone and prevent it from spreading beyond the borders. So there is your lore specific for what, if you're going to fall into Clear Skies, that is your mindset that you're going to come into.
Yeah.
Right. And for the Monolith, my favorite group that I like to
Your favorite?
kill in the game
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, you shocked me for a second there. Okay.
I don't think. Okay, so game-wise, I don't think you can actually join their group because they're hostile no matter what.
Yeah, I think it's only in the mods you can. I think it's only a mod thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Monolith is a faction that is shrouded in mystery and secrecy. They are a cult-like organization that worships a mysterious stone called the Wish Granter, which said to be powerful and what grants. Monolith is known for their fanaticism and their willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. They often see the main antagonist as a series as they're basically the antagonists of
Yeah,
the series. Like
yeah.
they're the bad guys
They're the bad guys.
regardless.
Yeah.
So if you like to be a baddie, and if you like these guys are basically like technology hoarders,
Yeah.
and they have like ray guns and stuff. So if you have cool looking like guns and stuff, rail guns, whatever it is.
They're the most kitted.
Yeah, they're the most kitted, and they usually kitted out with what is it, the monochrome like black and white sort of.
Yes, yeah, monochrome M81. That's what it
M81,
is,
yeah. So if you have those colors, oh, that's great.
That's an easy camo to find. It's easy.
Clear skies is always blue. That's why you pick blue for those.
Clear Sky's a little harder because, like, specifically, it's blue tiger stripe, and that's very hard
very
to
difficult, and that's the Russian type too
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So if you have those, great. Join Clear Skies. Other than that, we're gonna need more people for Monolith
Yeah.
too, because they tend to be the baddie, but hey, it's cool being the bad
The
guy.
bad guys are cool sometimes. Come on, we
Yeah.
need more people.
All right. So as far as is it strict uniform or color requirements, or is the armbands a distinction?
It's not super strict, but again, I wanted to keep it more. This isn't a sim where you'd show up wearing full multicam with your armbands. I don't even think multicam was invented.
No,
in that
this
time.
this
No.
is like as far as 2000s.
Yeah. So the uniform requirements I made is I wanted to have only solid colors.
Yeah.
So that could be any color you want, but you have to have one color of your team. Any article of clothing. So it could be a hoodie, a hat, bandana, pants, shoes, something like that. Just to identify that what team you're on is that. Armbands are a last resort for the people who don't read the rules and show up anywheres wearing the wrong stuff. So I advocate for hopefully no armbands, but if it comes down to it, yes, we can give out armbands as well.
Yeah. So guys, show up in proper kit. It's pretty easy to do Clear Skies. It's pretty easy to do Monolith. Monolith can be all black because they literally all black or all white. Or show up at Clear Skies. It's going to be all blue.
Yeah.
And you can wear a hoodie that's blue. You can wear a sweater that's blue. I mean, honestly, like, if you're going for that stalker vibe, pretty much.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah.
You don't even really need to wear like military related things. You can have like a chest rig and then civilian clothing, and I feel like that's a lot easier than most sims do. So I mean, it's not that hard. Just follow it. Just
follow the color palette.
Yeah.
Right. Blue and red.
Blue,
or black.
right, or blue, red, or white. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Is there going to be other factions that are going to be in this event, or is it just those two right now, or is there NPC roles that people following?
Yes. There's not going to be playable factions, like different factions aside from Clear Sky and Monolith. But I am getting a few NPCs that'll be playing, stuff from bandits, loners, ecologists, things like that. Just to world building, right? Just adding more variety there. We'll also be having, I want to say mutants, even though it's really just the zombies.
Yeah.
But if we had another way to do that, that would be cool. But for now, we're having just these small unplayable characters that you can find out on the field. And then maybe if this one's liked a lot and we do another one, we could add it to the next one.
Okay. I come to see that this is not going to be your first event.
I don't think so.
It's going to be multiple.
I think there's going to be a lot.
I hope great success for this because I love the game.
Yeah.
All right. As far as objectives go, how is it assigned and how is it completed? Well, we know how it's completed. You complete the task.
Yeah.
But how are you assigning these sort of, just like in the game, you have a PDA.
Yeah.
Are we just using Discord to send out information, or are we using radios? Are we just assigning it based on, oh, you're here.
Yeah.
Here's your quest. You're a quest giver.
So Discord was a thing that was brought up. It's still in talks, I think.
Yeah.
But that is a very easy thing that we could set up, even using the voice chat or just using like a channel in general.
Yeah.
That's very easy to set up. But we have the option, if that doesn't go well, we have the option where, like I was talking about earlier, we have NPCs that you can go up to, and they can give you a variety of quests. Either it be, hey, go kill this guy and get a contract, or find this artifact for me, go do some recon in this area, where are the mutants at, stuff like that. And that will reward you with either more ammo, it could reward you with an artifact, it could reward you with other benefits. I don't really want to mention all of them. I want to leave it as a surprise, but there's a lot of things you can get from it, and that's your main goal, is to just win more things for your team. Right?
Got it. So it's a team-based event, guys.
Yeah.
It's not individual. You're winning it for your team.
If it was individual, everyone would be loners, right?
I like that idea too.
Well, you know, we'll get to that.
That's a faction on its own, guys.
Don't record that. Don't record that.
Too late. All right. So great. So we have objectives in place. We have again, the PDA is centric to the game.
Yeah.
People can, if you have that Discord, this might recommend. If we have that Discord, people can just chat up. It's like, oh, I died from this, or whatever, or oh my God, like there's something here. Come over here.
Yes.
You're just giving it away to the other team too, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun and interesting to see. All right. So let's talk about. Let's just jump into it. Special mechanics here. Your event comes with special mechanics that enhance the immersion and the challenge. These include emissions, mutants, artifacts, capturing wounded. Oh, okay, interesting. Emission storms that forces players to seek shelter or respawn. So let's talk about this. This is big on the game.
Yes.
It happens a lot in the game. Big storm comes in. You're like, oh man, I gotta get to the closest outpost. I gotta get underneath something, under a bridge.
Yeah.
Right. You're not close enough to the town. You're gonna get under that bridge. You're gonna get under that structure, and you wait there. So how is this gonna play out for this game?
So
for your event.
This is the coolest thing that I've ever done. In terms of just like any game.
Yeah.
But we are setting up a sound system where we will have an alarm, and we'll have hopefully it'll set up to other radios.
Yep.
We're trying to get that working.
Yeah, I'll get that working. I'm working on it.
Yeah, not me. I don't take credit. But we have it set up to the radios, and it'll play this alarm. And as soon as that plays, a mission.
Yep.
Right. It'll force players to, whether they're in a fight, whether they're out there completing a contract, collecting artifacts, they have to run into the nearest building they are. And that could be anywhere from, two-story or the old cabins, church, wolf's den even, inside the broken helicopter, plane, right? And if you don't make it by the time that the siren goes off, you die, right? Just like in the games, right? You don't get second chances for that stuff. Once it hits you, you're done. And I feel like that will add a ton of immersion, a ton of fun, especially when you might need to work together with the enemy to find an area to get under before.
Ooh, that was my question there. That's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
If you got one clear sky and one monolith, and they're in the same structure, like, hey bud,
let's say like
you want to work together?
Yeah, it's an example, but let's say you're both fighting each other and you both run out of ammo, right? The only other place that you can go and reload is at your main base, or if an emission happens, you can go and reload under the building you're at. So let's say you and an enemy are fighting it out. A mission happens. Well, we don't have any ammo. Let's just work together, get to a safe place, and then we can reload with each other, right? Ooh. And then maybe you could plan something else that happens, right? It's a bunch of, it's way more of a role play aspect than it is entirely just force on force, right? You want to talk to people. You want to make deals. If it means securing a victory for your team, right?
So you're saying share ammo or reloading. So I guess we'll jump into a little bit of the game rules here, or the how it starts here. When you start, do you start with any ammo, or do you start with some ammo, or how is ammo provided? Is it ammo specific game?
Yeah. So ammo is you start with the most ammo you can at the start of the game if you choose to. I mean, you don't have to, but I expect people will. But for AEGs, I think it's 3 mid caps or 1 high cap, and then gas, it's 5 gas magazines, right? That's 35 to 30 rounds.
Yep.
So you can start with those, but as the game goes on, you will be running out of ammo, and of course you'll be out in the field a lot.
Yep.
You're not going to be returning to base very often, and that creates urgency to get things done. It also requires people to play safer. because you don't want to be losing all the stuff you got and then waste all that ammo when you could have just, stayed quiet, stuff like that. So when it comes to ammo, the only other way they can reload it is if they're at base.
So at base with their packs, and they have to reload with their
with speed loaders.
their speed loaders. You can't bring your speed loaders outside the zone, guys. Or not the in the zone. You can't bring your speed loaders.
You can hold your ammo on you, but you can't reload unless
so
the emission happens.
No loose ammo on you to reload into the mags. It has to be on the mag already. Got it. All right. So that's going to be creating some interesting gameplays there. And, just like a mil sim, it's the same thing. You don't reload outside. You reload at your respawn, basically. Yeah. Okay, so that's good to hear. All right, so we talked a little bit about the Storm. I will try, I promise to get that working for you. I'll figure out a technology. I have all the technologies. It's just the matter is, power and all that stuff out there, so we'll figure it out. So mutants. Let's talk about this. Who, what, where? Bloodsuckers, Chimera, pseudo-dogs, question mark. Who are we dealing with mutants here?
Yeah.
Or are we just doing generic zombie?
So, like I mentioned before, for this one, we're just going to go with generic zombie. It's kind of upsetting, but I find it really difficult, especially because we're in the winter and it's less people.
Yeah.
I need volunteers for this, right? For the mutants. So, bloodsuckers have such a complex move set.
Yeah.
Same with, I don't know how we would, put a Chimera in there. I don't know how we do that.
Some dude in a suit.
Yeah,
on fours.
On all fours, right? That would be very difficult. And I felt like just to keep it more simple, but also still be scary at the same time, is let's just throw zombies in there, right?
Yeah.
It's still a threat. They can still shoot, right? It's not like they don't have guns. They're just less accurate. They're, they can still use melees as well.
So we're talking about just in sort of a layman's term, it's just a person who's invincible out there with just his hands. If he touches you, you're basically done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't shoot at him because he's invincible.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're shooting at him, how much
make
mags
him,
do you have?
Yeah, you're gonna make him angry and you're wasting ammo. It's not a good idea, right?
So got it. So almost like a zombie game, but we're calling it mutants here.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's good. That's guys. If you see a mutant, don't shoot at him. So are we gonna be able to identify these mutants pretty easily, or?
I haven't found a way to identify them yet. I think it's scarier if I just put them looking like everyone else.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what they are. They were normal people whose brains got fried and now they wander around. And I feel like that has another element of scary to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think I don't think I'm gonna put identification on them, but obviously they won't be talking. They won't be, moving really fast like a human.
Just like former soldiers that were there, and then their brains got fried because of the emissions, and as well as all the radiation, and then afterwards they're just walking around just like.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like Minecraft noise. Don't get too close to them. Oh my God, get a bunch of kids to
See, baby zombies, man.
Baby zombie. All right. Next up here, it's gonna be a fun one. Artifacts are items that can benefit faction if they find them.
Yes.
All right. So artifacts. Any sneak peeks? Any kind of benefits that you want to talk about, or that you're willing to talk about? I'm sure you want to keep these secrets because whenever you receive an artifact, it's some sort of bonus. Towards your character, or in this case, your faction. For this event. So. Anything to say about this?
Yeah. So I'll go over one.
Okay.
I'll talk about one. Most of the artifacts are going to look different, and they're going to have they'll be pretty bright. So it's not like you're not going to be able to find any. But there is one artifact. So I'll give an example of a benefit. There's one artifact you can find, and when given to an NPC, that can give you immunity to emissions.
Ooh.
So you can walk freely while the siren's playing, and that can be a massive game changer, right?
Yeah.
If someone's in a building or there's a bunch of people in a building and the emission goes off and you have a grenade and that artifact that saves your life, you wipe all of them and take whatever they have, right?
Ooh.
So it can add a lot of counterplay to just, sitting in buildings and camping.
Is it just the user having emission,
yes,
having immunity to it?
Just the user.
While holding it.
Just the user. But again, you have to give the artifact away, so it only works while you have it.
Got it.
It only works while you're carrying it on you. and the only way to help benefit your team is you have to give it up.
Yeah.
So it's this weird moral standing on whether you keep your artifacts or help your team win in the long run, right?
Oh, your team's gonna hate you if they find out that you have an artifact on you, and you're like, we needed this, but you kept holding it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder what the other ones are, but you're not gonna say anything about it.
I'm not gonna say anything.
So guys, work for those artifacts when it comes up on either the PDA or your mission or your quest, because it is important. That I'm guessing this is vital to your game's goal at the end to win.
The artifacts are a key part of the main story, so keep that in mind.
Okay, so focus on those guys. Keep your head in the game. It is not a regular Sunday Airsoft game, guys. Come to Panther if you want to play Sunday games, but if you want to play this game, play the objective.
Yeah.
All right, and I have here interrogations, so there's capturing involved, you said?
Yes, let me find that.
Yeah.
Where is it on here? Nope. There we go. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, interrogations. Essentially how they work is if somebody is wounded on the ground, and they do not have a teammate nearby to help them, you can go and pick them up, tell them that you are now going to take them back, and you can take them to your base.
Okay.
You can steal whatever's on their body. Obviously not personal items, but if they have an item from the sim, yes, like an artifact, you can steal those from them. And you can ask them anything you want. And if they want to tell you to make the game more fun, they can. If they don't want to, that's on them, right? It's entirely up to them. But I feel like it would make the game a lot more fun if you just play along with it, right? It's a role play thing, right? Imagine your life's actually in danger. There's no respawns, right?
And if your faction is looking for you and you have set specific item, can you trade with the other faction?
You're allowed anything from trading to stealing to
bargaining with them.
Bargaining, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you could do anything. You could even team up with another person.
Person who got captured, you better be important.
Yes. If you don't have anything of worth,
if you're not worth it, I don't think your team's gonna come rescue you.
Yeah, I don't think it's wise.
All right, so that's good. Let's see here. All right, so since we're talking about game rules anyway, let's jump into some of the game rule specifics here. So we were just covering magazine ammo, a little bit of FPS restriction. It's the same as Panthers, guys. So that's pretty much down to it. Is there anything specific on FPS? I think this one you're allowed full auto throughout the entire
full auto anywhere. There is no.
Good luck wasting your ammo, guys.
Yes. I kind of want more people to do full auto though.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of, yes, they will waste ammo, but it'll be an experience that you don't get to have in regular games. You never get to full auto in buildings. You never get to full auto less than 30 feet, right? It's more like, do I really want to get pelted? Right? It makes it slower, right? Just like I was saying earlier.
I agree. That reloading aspect really just puts in the, hey, do I dump this entire mag on this guy or do I save it and then fight somewhere else? Yeah. So there's some fun stuff. This is why I do gas blowback games, because you have only limited ammo. Yeah. All right. So, of course, iPro on at all times. Once the sim starts to the end, please keep your iPro on.
Even when you're sleeping, if you decide to sleep.
If you decide to sleep, this is quite a short sim, so I don't think you'll be sleeping. But, hey, I mean, it's all part of the lore, so if you're going to sleep on the side in the campfire there, feel free to do so. Calling your hits. Call your hits at all times, guys. Let's just go over some of these wounded state, carry wounded state, and capture wounded states. So when you're wounded, you call your hits, or you LARP out your death. You act it out like
you can do either or. Obviously I prefer the acting it out, because it's a lot funnier and it's a lot more fun.
And how long are you gonna hold that wounded state for?
I think it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay.
I think it is 5 minutes. I probably wrote it in the rules, but I don't exactly remember the full time. But I'm fairly certain it's 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So 5 minutes. If your teammate's around,
they can.
They can basically. Sorry, I didn't put it in here, but they can basically revive you. What is the revive state here, or is it just carry the wounded back to base?
You can carry them back to base, or if they have a tourniquet. We always use tourniquets.
Okay.
If they have a tourniquet, you can place that on them.
Bring your tourniquets, guys.
ASG usually sells them as well. If you don't have one on hand already, the fake ones. So those are like
By the way, it's DSG now.
DSG,
Yeah.
Delta Sports Gear, my fault.
Yeah. I know, it's going to take me a while too,
Yeah.
guys. That's how long the podcast has not been running for. They have changed names.
Yeah.
Anyways, so tourniquet, if within that 5 minutes, no tourniquet, then are you just going to put on your red light and then walk away towards your spawn, right?
Yeah. Just put on the red light, walk over, and one thing I also want to mention is if the player's full dead, like red light and everything, you cannot bring them back to your base or interrogate them. They are fully dead, so they are no longer a threat.
Okay, perfect. So there you go, guys. You could carry your wounded, or you could tourniquet them. If they don't have a tourniquet, you're gonna have to drag them over to.
Or find someone who does, right?
Yeah. Or find someone who does, who's willing to have them use the tourniquet.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have a tourniquet on and you die, is it just dead at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only one life.
One life. Got it. All right. And same goes with capturing wounded. He has to be wounded as well, guys. We were just talking about that. He has to be wounded to be able to capture him. He can't be dead.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in the game rules that we missed here or anything like that? Other than the emergency or ceasefire rule, we usually talk about that in game. I think everybody knows that anyway.
I mean, it's basic for all of the things. Game rules.
Oh, someone was asking grenades. Are they allowed?
Grenades are allowed.
40 mics or anything.
40 mics. 40 mics are allowed as well.
Yeah. How is there a limit?
There's
no limit. If you can afford it, bring it.
No limit on the 40 mics. I did that on purpose. Bring as many as you want. It'll be funny. Snipers are also allowed. Yeah, most milsims that we've had here did not allow snipers because it didn't match the play style.
Yeah.
But I feel like for a game where you're going to be doing a lot of sneaking, you're going to be doing a lot of, extracting with stuff. Snipers are totally viable as long as you can see in the dark, right?
Yes, guys. This is the timeline you're working with. Look how dark it is. Have fun sniping at 10 feet.
Unless you got a thermal scope.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be a bit hard, but hey.
Hey, if you got the money
you're up
for the thermal
challenge,
smokes,
right?
Yeah, go for it. All right, so here's a little bit of my suggestions when it comes to this. When I heard about this, I wanted to talk to you about it, but you already heard about it. For future events, more factions would be great.
Yeah.
I think you covering just the two factions, you start small.
Yeah.
Right. This is great. There are other factions in the zone. There's different goals and alliances for them. So one day we'll get everybody in the loner state. That'll be freaking hilarious. Just go in there, free for all.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but it's gonna be hilarious.
So actually, to talk about the extra factions, before I started writing this sim for S.T.A.L.K.E.R, I had another one which involved it was like different space factions. Right?
Oh,
like
Starfield.
kinda. It didn't take place in space. It was still Earth, but his storyline was, it's not a big deal. But I tried doing 3 factions for that at first. Ooh. And the reason I cut it down is because it felt too ambitious for my first one. So that's why I definitely wanted to just stick with the 2 main teams. And then, if this one was fun or, I learned some more things from this, I could totally add more. Why not?
Don't try and just dive into the deep end of the pool. Try,
start small.
Start small and then work your way up. Yeah. Because, like I said, I love this type of event, and post-apocalyptic is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
All right. So you got like other
special guest.
Oh, hi. Hi, Annabelle. So other examples of, like groups or factions that are out there is like Duty, Freedom, Bandits, Loners, Ecologists, and Military. Those are, like, they have set specific lore for each one of them. So if you guys want to dive deep into the lore of it, there are countless YouTube videos out there. If you play the game and you know it, go for it. Yeah. But if you just start talking lore specific in the game that'll be epic because, if you're going into, I used to be a loner like you. Yeah. Something like that, right? I used to work for military. Yeah. But, something like that.
I do encourage, the role play is the biggest thing I encourage. That's what makes the game special. That's where you get all the really fun moments from. Yeah. I want to say I based a lot of the rules and, the writing around Op Shanty. That was, a year ago now?
A year and a half ago.
Year and a half, yeah. It was way more roleplay centric, and I loved that part. I made my own character.
Yeah, McCree.
Yeah, talked in my own accent. It was awesome, and I would really love to see that from this event.
Yeah. Remember me presenting you with the
The
body
candy.
cam?
Yeah. Yes.
And you're like, So do stuff like that, guys, because backstabbing in this game is hella fun.
Yes.
And making them act for it is even way better.
It's hella fun and it's even funnier.
So Quest, I already recommended you to PDA because that is something that is big on the game, and to my heart, it's like seeing someone. It's like, oh, I died.
Yeah.
Right. You're just looking at your PDA. Ha, he died.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, there's something big here. It's like, we're going there, guys. So even if the game master is just giving those information, like, guys, there's something here, or yada yada.
Yeah.
Another one that I'm trying to implement right now, and hopefully I get it by the time the game starts, is a FM radio system.
Yes.
So you guys understand what FM radio is? It's on your Baofangs and stuff. You basically run a channel, or not a channel, but like Z95 or something like that. You run that channel, and then we're gonna play some of the music that is actually from the game itself.
Yes.
So that'll add the ambience of things.
Yeah.
And again, me playing the game, I know exactly which music and which ambience this gets it, because it is so big in the lore in the game itself, and as well as the total ambiance things.
Yeah.
So I will try and get that for you guys. If I don't, we're gonna go Discord with the channel that's just gonna be muted. You guys can jump in there, and then we could just have the chat going from there.
I made a playlist. Check my Spotify.
Yeah, I will link it down below as well.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I will link it down below, guys, because it is a really good playlist, and it'll give you that mindset of what is this, the ambience of this game. You're sitting in a campfire out there, and or you're sitting with a group of people. You turn on the radio and you're like, yes, we're relaxing here. We're chilling.
It has that vibe. It has that vibe.
So I will try and get that to you guys, and hopefully I get something going from there. Another one that I think might add something is radiation zones. I don't know if you've thought of that yet, but I know there's emissions, which kind of restricted, but radiation zones. Either at spots where like let's say swamps or something. There's a radiation zone there, and then you have to wear like some sort of PPE or something, or a mask or something like that. Something like that. Not for this event, for your future events, or even this event. What do you think?
So I'm glad you brought that up. For this event, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to leave it as it is, trying to make it as simple and easier to manage, given the things. But you know what? I'll give a sneak peek. If this Milsim does go well, I am planning to do a hardcore mode for another event, which will be a lot more restrictive in what you can do, a lot more dangerous areas, and hopefully a lot more players that will be, just shoot on sight instead of the role play aspect. So, yeah.
You're asking Tarkov level.
Yes. More
I'm friendly.
Tarkov.
I'm friendly.
Yeah.
Bang.
More Tarkov than it is Stalker, but
something about like East European and Russia specific, or Slavic specific companies. Something about them with hardcore games and just like kill on sites and survival. Something about that. They always have that sort of like.
They do it so good though.
It's like, we want to punish the players.
Yes.
And then in the West it's like, hey, press A.
Yeah.
Okay. Great achievement.
Yeah.
What? I come from the golden age of gaming where you look at Mario and you're like, how do I play this game?
Yeah.
Oh, I died. All right, don't do that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Yeah. So in this game, you guys are gonna have a lot of trial and errors, but hey, you can respawn, right?
Yeah. At least there's that. Yeah.
All right. So there's radiation zones there, but again, that's for future. Other than that, is there anything you would like to add into this segment before we head off here?
Yes. I said it before, but I'll say it again. Don't wear multicam, please. I love multicam. My whole kit's multicam. Do not wear it to the event.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Again, this is 13 years after the Chernobyl event.
Yes.
So this is less than the 2000s.
Yes, this is like 1990 something.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're that era. Like, wear M81s, feel free.
Yeah.
Wear your OD greens. They're still popular back in the days.
I don't want to see any cry JPCs out there. None.
Wear your Russian gear, not the modern one.
Yeah.
But the old Russian gear.
Wear whatever you want, as long as it looks the part, right?
Yeah.
Right. Just anything.
Make sure that you stand out as a character. That's the big one.
Yes. Have your own spin on things.
If if you play as the main character, great, because everybody else is playing the main character.
Yes.
I want egos to flare.
This is your chance to be you. You're not a soldier anymore. You're your own person.
Yeah,
Right?
if-
There's no military.
If you want to do shoot 'em up, join a regular Sunday game, guys,
Yeah.
or Saturday game. All right. Yeah.
Starting to rain now. That was perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. It's. Oh, I hope my equipment doesn't get damaged. All right. So, where can you get the tickets for these for this event?
Yeah. So you can buy them online on ASG site, not DSG.
Not DSD. They haven't changed their
website is still the same.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's ASG ASG/events.
Yeah. ASG/events. Yeah.
That's where you can find it. They have the ticket up there. It has the
I'll
name
link
and
it
everything.
down below, guys.
Yeah,
so
it'll
that
be
you
there.
Can purchase it.
And then obviously you can buy it in person at DSG, and then just decide the team that you want to pick from there. So
Join Monolith.
$40, no tax. Well, it's taxed in.
That's
So.
pretty good price, guys. That's a pretty
the-
good price.
that's
If you want a
the-
mini event,
Yeah.
that is not a mil sim, that is not too hardcore-ish. You don't even have to train for it.
That's the lowest they told me I could go. So that's the
Wow.
lowest I went.
Guys, he's not making
For
any
the people.
profits.
For the
He's not-
people.
you're not making any profits out of this, are you?
I mean, I am, but I'm also paying other people.
Yeah.
And I have to pay for all the stuff I'm buying. So I didn't even know I was going to be making anything off this.
Yeah.
I kind of just did it because this is something I'm passionate about. I wanted to write something and I wanted to see it through. So that's why I made it.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, all that money is just going to go to the events.
Yes.
I don't think anything's going to this man here. He is
Maybe
going for the
100.
lowest low.
Maybe $100.
Yeah, well, give him coffee, give him a pat on the back for running this event because we need events. We need some sort of scenario, in our.
Aside from the regular games, just
Yeah.
something to do, right?
All right, perfect.
Awesome.
All right, nope, that is it for me. This is
Sweet.
Kazz right here, guys. Future manager
Yeah.
of Panther,
Yes. Yes. Hopefully.
hopefully.
In
And
a week
yeah,
or so. Yeah.
give him a pat on the back for doing all the hard work here because dude, you dug that trench back there.
I
Looks
did not
awesome.
dig it. I did not dig
Oh,
it.
okay.
Excavator.
Excavator did it, but
yes.
he was like, "We need to do something with this trench. The people are
we
yelling at
needed
me."
a trench. We needed a trench.
Yeah. So there you go. If you have any field improvements or anything, your man right here, he listens. Well, sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah.
So that is it for this segment of Panther Airsoft Folding Table Talk, guys. This is Poy. That's Kazz. And we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. Bye-bye,
Goodbye,
guys.
guys.